And welcome back to Dad Space. It's Dave, host of the show, and your new dad friend. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. First-time guest, first-time listener, hi. Welcome to Dad Space. What do we do here? We talk about dad stuff. Talk about dads, dad things. If you're a dad, you're in the right place. If you're not a dad, you're still welcome. We have a lot of women that listen to this show, which makes me giddy that you're finding something here on Dad Space that brings you back. Thank you. And here we do all things dad things, and today I want to talk about a happy dad and the power of a happy dad and how that leads to a healthy family, joyful fatherhood without the guilt. It's like your favorite pastry. Without feeling guilty here on Dad Space. Thanks for pressing play. When I talk to dads, when I spend time with dads, I find a lot of great guys who pour their life into their family. They pour their life into their partner. They love being a dad. Like it's, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And when I ask them what do they do for fun, they're like, what are you talking about? Well, you know, like, do you golf? Do you fish? Do you tinker with the car in the driveway? Do you like to watch the game on a Sunday afternoon? Like, what makes you happy as a dad? And I get this perplexed look on the faces of dads going, who's got time to do all that? I'm so focused on being this dad that, you know, I rarely take time for myself, and I feel guilty if I do so. I feel like I should be doing something else when it's time for me to disconnect and do something that I enjoy. I feel like I'm the last on the list. When everything is done and all the chores are done, the kids are in bed, my wife is happy, everybody's happy, then it's time for Dave. And I want to challenge that belief that you're the last on the list. Let's go to one frequently used example. If you've ever been on a plane and you've sat through the safety instructions on if we're going to land in a lake or a river or the ocean, here's what we're going to do, everybody. And you're like, I hope not, because I can't swim. So, but beyond that, there's this thing where they talk about the oxygen mask. Now, you've probably heard this a bazillion times, but it helps prove my point. They say in the actual demonstration, right, that the oxygen mask will release from above you. Put on your own mask before you go to help somebody else, because you're no good to us if you pass out. Now we got to deal with your body and everyone else. So take care of yourself first, which feels really, really strange, right? We'll hold our breath. We'll help the whole airplane. Everyone will be helped. And then we'll take care of ourselves. And as dads, we do that. We're always kind of thinking, well, what can I do for the family? How can I do this better? How can I bring in more money to the house? How can I do more around the house? How can I be helpful? How can I, right? You're just in that mode. And in that mode, you're not thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about who you are and what you can do on your own to create a healthy environment for yourself. And why is it that we're the last on the list as dads? I really think that we need to do more in our calendar to carve out time for who we are. I really think that we often neglect our own happiness as dads in favor of the needs of the family, prioritizing our personal joy and the communication with our partner that we need this is something that we don't do enough. I know I don't. And I'm anticipating you have some feeling that, yeah, I'm in that same boat where I just feel like, again, I feel guilty for asking, can I have time for me? And I want to just say if you're listening and your partner, your husband, he comes to you and says, listen, I need some time, that your reaction in that moment will dictate what he does in the future. And if he'll ever take time for himself again. So please give each other space and don't be ashamed to ask for time, right? You watch it in sports. They call a timeout. right? Everything pauses, everything stops because we need a timeout. I think as dads, we need to do the same thing. We got to call a timeout and go, wait a minute, I just need some time for me right now. Without the guilt, without feeling like you're letting somebody down in the moment, call timeout and let's see what we can do to make some time for us as dads. Making time for our hobbies, making time for self-care and reading, listening to a podcast like Dad Space, whatever that is for you. Watching TV, go watch a movie, play a video game. I don't know what it is for you. I haven't played a video game in 15 years. I'm so behind. I used to love it. I taught my kids how to play video games. They took over the consoles, and now I have no access to anything. And when my kids moved out, they took all the consoles with them. I have no games. I've got nothing. I paid for these things, and they're gone. So I just don't have time for that. I pour my life into podcasting. That's what I do. That's where I find my joy, is talking to you. So that's where my heart is. That's what I do to refill my cup. My question to you is, when's the last time you filled up your own cup? And why has it been so long since you've done so? I really think that we as dads need to have a conversation with our partner saying, listen, I need help. I need time. For my own mental health, my physical health, for that energy that I need to show up and be a great dad. We need to make time for ourselves. Think back to the things you used to do before you are where you are today that you used to enjoy. What was it? Driving around in your car with no reason to why or no destination in mind, just cranking up the tunes and just booting around, driving around. Was that you? Yeah, that was me. Fixing my car in the driveway. Put more Bondo and fiberglass in that car than it was primary. If you ever had an accident with that car, it would probably just fall apart. But it made me happy, and I was learning something, and it was pleasing to just not think about anything and just have time for me. That's what I did with my first car. It was great. I don't do that anymore. There's just things that I love to do. I love riding dirt bikes. I love riding off-road and all of that. I don't get to do that often at all, but it brings me a lot of joy. What is it for you? What is that thing that made you happy back in the day that you don't do anymore? Because it just doesn't fit. And why does it not fit? Something for you to think about. For us as dads, we need to do something to help us stay recharged, to remain engaged with our family, to model healthy emotional behaviors for our children, and to relax, to de-stress between work, family, life, responsibility, bills, pressures of life. If you don't take time for yourself, it's going to build up over time. The whole steam thing in a kettle, right? It's just the sirens are going off. You are done. You need a break. You need to take a step back. What do you do when you get that warning signal that, hey, you're not taking care of yourself and you're not making time for yourself? Why is it so important to make time for ourselves? As busy dads, we can reclaim this me time through how we show up and what we do intentionally to schedule personal activities for ourselves, to set boundaries, and to share these small time commitments, even 15, 20, 30 minutes of me time as a dad can really help to build out a strong, healthy example for our kids and for our family. So, go back to your hobbies. What was it? I know one guy that I know, he loves model cars. Those model kits you can buy and you assemble them and paint them. He's got too many model cars, but it lights him up. He gets to be creative. He gets to reconnect to a younger version of himself. And for him, that is his go-to. He'll throw on something like music or a movie or sports, and he will build something and take pride. He takes pictures of it. He posts it all over social, and that is his joy. He knows how to make time for himself, and that is his time to do what lights him up. What is it for you? What is it? Woodworking, puzzles, reading, again, podcasts. What is it for you? And Again, why has it been so long since the last time you did this? By investing in things that make you happy, you're going to show up better for your family. As a solo outing, what is the last time, if you can't, let's say camping was your thing back in the day. When's the last time you grabbed a tent, said goodnight and said goodbye to the family, and you went off and you did an overnight solo camping thing, had your campfire, cooked for yourself, and slept out under the stars? You know you love doing that, but you haven't done it in forever. Why not this weekend? Just go to your wife, go to your partner and say, listen, I need this right now. I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to go to the golf course. I'm going to go sleep under the stars. I'm going to do, and be okay with the fact that you are allowed to ask for time off, for a time out. You're okay to do that. And your partner is going to love the fact that you're investing time in yourself. You need to make time for yourself. It's really important. And I think that we as dads need to talk about this more. What is it for you? A solo outing? Go to a movie on your own? I know it's going to feel weird, a little creepy, like what's this guy doing by himself? But it's your chance just to reconnect and go do something that lights you up. I have one of my friends, he has a unlimited movie ticket thing where you can go watch as many movies as he wants. He just pays this one fee and you can just live at the theater. That's what lights him up. He's a very thoughtful, busy person. And when he has downtime, he takes himself out on a date, just him and himself. And he goes and gets his popcorn, he gets his drinks, and he just sits there and watch whatever movie's out. He watches a ton of movies, like a crap ton of movies. And it's fun for him. What's fun for you? We need to rekindle a joy that is completely guilt-free as dads. I know as you're listening to this, you're probably thinking, there's no way I have time in my calendar to do this. And that's the exact reason why this is so important. Is the reason you don't have time for this is the reason why you need this. Many dads feel guilty for enjoying personal activities away from their family because they feel like they're letting other people down. By embracing your hobbies and your interests, it really helps to recharge your energy. It will enrich you as a person and make you more attractive, more fun to be around, more interesting because you had time to read the book or do the thing. You're a musician, you're a guitar player. You haven't touched your guitar in years. Why is that? That was your joy, to sit and just strum out and learn songs and play music for your kids when they were little, and you haven't touched it forever. Do you even know where your guitar is right now? Could you go put your hands on it? Then what's stopping you to do that today? Like when you're done listening to this, what's stopping you from going and just pulling that guitar out, tuning it up, and strumming through some chords again? Why not? But I feel guilty. I'm taking time away from my kids. I should be helping them with their homework. Yeah, we should be. There's a lot of should be's in life. But you should also be part of that. And time for you should also be one of your priorities. We're not saying to abandon our fathership in our home and our leadership and throwing everything on our partner to do it all. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. But I'm saying there's a center part somewhere where there's time for us and time to balance life with our family, and we find that sweet spot in between. There's the extreme of walking away and being an absent dad, and there's the extreme of being absent for ourselves. Somewhere in the middle is that sweet spot. You got to figure that out for yourself. And I'm talking to the dads who are so uncentered in their schedule that they never have time for themselves. You're not happy, you're not fun to be around because you're always grumpy, you're always distracted, and you feel like you're missing out on life. Don't wait until you're an empty nest dad like me to go, okay, everyone's gone now, and all of that busyness, calendar that's packed, me driving kids everywhere, is gone. Now what? There's this huge vacuumous void that just sucks all that out of your calendar, and you're looking at your partner going, what are we going to do with ourselves? It's so quiet here. The kids are gone. Then what are you going to do to fill that up? And what's going to refill your cup? Now. Don't wait until your kids are gone. Work on this now while they're there so they can see you living the example of a happy, fulfilled, and pleasing life. Not that grumpy, stoic, angry man who sits in that lazy boy chair watching yet another sporting event and ignoring everybody. We need to make time for ourselves and not worry about feeling guilty for wanting this. We need to communicate with our partner why this is so important for us. And if you don't know how to say the words, then just give them this podcast episode and let them listen to this. Maybe that'll help. We need to communicate with our partners about why this is so important. And we need to encourage each other to pursue interests and recognize that everybody's unique needs for self-care differs. So what works for your wife and what works for your partner might not work for you. So we're all unique in what fills our cup. And we need to let go of the guilt that leads to us being happier and more balanced as a father. So how do we talk to our partner about our need for a break, for a timeout? When our kids were little, they do things that are like against how we do things in our home. And sometimes we'll send them to timeout. What is that? It's a break from whatever they love to do and a reset. I'm saying we need to go from all the things we are doing to the things we love to do via a reset. And we need to talk to our partner about why this is so important. As dads, we need to have an open and honest conversation with our partner. And this is so critical to what we do in our homes. We need to express that we need this in terms of our own self-care and our own mental health. These activities, we need their support in this time. And invite your partner to share their needs too. It's a great way to not just come and say, this is what I need, but also because it's important to me, I know it's important to you. So how do we do this for you as well, as my partner, as my wife, as my spouse? It's an opportunity to have a great conversation together. Maybe do this on a walk together. The kids will be fine. Spend some time together with your partner and just go through this and have this conversation. They might be really longing for this for themselves as well. And you leading that conversation and bringing it up might be a dream come true. Approach it as a two-way conversation. Empathetic and a discussion focused on the idea of refilling your cup. You want to do this and you want to refill your cup so you can be more present, more fulfilled in your relationship, and better able to support your family by having this clear plan of having some me time in your calendar. And I know you're going to default to doing the bare minimum here, but I'm going to challenge you to make this a priority for the next month, that you're going to put things in your calendar space where nobody else can take that space. And it's only for you. Because I know you're going to do like 15 minutes over a 30-day period and go, that's good enough. I want you to do way more than that. And it's going to feel weird, but I think you're going to see the results as you make this a habit, as you make time for yourself and make it a priority. Your partner, your family, your kids, they're going to understand and they're going to see a different version of you as you invest in yourself. It's equity, just like your home. You bought your home for a certain dollar amount, and over the years you pay the mortgage down, but the value of your house goes up. And that gap between what you owe and what you've earned is your equity. You need equity in your own personal life as a dad. You invest in yourself, you grow, and in that period of growth, that's where you have the extra that you can now use to reinvest in your family, your kids, your partner, or even reinvest in yourself. What is the impact on the health of your family and your relationships by you taking a guilt-free time out? How does it impact everybody else? A dad's well-being is strongly tied to the health of his family. It's also tied to your children's development and your satisfaction with the relationships you have in your life, both with your partner, with your friends, at work, everywhere, within your community. When fathers start modeling a healthy self-care agenda and purpose, it leads to that emotional fulfillment. It leads to a benefit with more improved attachment with the people within your home. And it gives you more confidence. You're becoming a different person by creating space for yourself. It gives you a healthy and more involved perspective in what's happening in your life. Happy dads create a nurturing environment in the home. This is something that's going to help your whole family thrive. It needs to be a priority for you. It needs to be a priority for me. It's something that we need to look at as our next thing. What's some action things that we can do this week after hearing this episode to create that me time that we're talking about and why it's so valuable? What can we do? When we talk about all this stuff without action, it's never going to happen. So here's some action steps for you as a dad. I would love for you to commit to prioritizing your own well-being. This needs to be on the list somewhere. And I challenge you not to put it at the bottom of the list when you have extra. This is not something that lives in the margins of your life. This needs to be something that really becomes a priority for you. Commit to prioritizing your own well-being. I need you to schedule some me time. And I need you to schedule it on a regular basis. Not just, again, when there's excess, you use your me time. It needs to be a priority. If it doesn't happen, if you don't schedule it, you'll never see the results. And you need to schedule it in a way that's recurring so that you can look forward to it. The moment you have like a holiday on the calendar, your mind is already starting to relax because you know something's coming. There's a break on the horizon. Do that for yourself with your me time. Schedule it. Acknowledge your emotions as well. You need to notice and accept your feelings as a dad. Whether it's stress, joy, anxiety, and do it without judgment. Talk to your partner. Share openly about your need for your own personal time. I think they're going to welcome the conversation. And remember, don't come at it as just what you need, but what we need in our relationship, because I'm sure they also would love some me time for themselves as well. So make it an open conversation on what you both need in this relationship. Even if you're not together with the kids in the same house and you're separated or you're divorced, there's me time required for both of you. And how can we do this together as a co-parenting? Whatever your situation is, this applies to everyone. But talk to your partner and reconnect with your passions. Restart that hobby, that joy, that love, that thing that just lit you up in the day. Back in the day when you're just like, oh, I can't wait to do this. Fill in the blank. Then reconnect with that. And how do you do that? Go on YouTube and start watching videos. Just to be like, oh yeah. Watch if it's golfing, then watch a bunch of people practicing their golf swings. If that's all you have time for, then just do that. If it's batting cages and baseball, then just watch people swinging at a ball. Watch some baseball clips. Do something, right? If it's riding dirt bikes like me, go out and borrow your friend's bike. Like something. Just do something that gets you out of where you are and closer to the things that make you happy. And do it in small little bursts whenever you have time. But then schedule time to go deeper and to really get back into something that made you happy. Reconnect with your passions. Stay connected as well. Maintain your friendships and build community around you. As you get older, as an empty nest dad, I can tell you, Your circle of friends that were really super close, like when you first got married or before you got married, that circle of friends can fade away over time. So either reinvest in old friends or find new ones. And stay connected. Don't disconnect from all the people around you. Stay active. Add movement to your daily routine. Get out of that chair. Get out of that mentality that, well, I worked all day, so now it's time to rest. Stay active for yourself. And ask for help when you need it. Seek support, whether it's your friends, your family, or professionals. If you ever feel overwhelmed, this doesn't make you less strong as a dad, but it strengthens your ability to support those that you love. By keeping all this together and putting them into practice, it will help to balance out your highs and lows as a dad and refill your cup. I love the idea that you dig the well before you're thirsty. And as dads, I'm seeing a lot of thirsty dads who haven't invested in themselves. When you invest in digging that well and you tap into that spring of fresh water, it's less work because you've already done all the work up front. So as dads, we need to tap into our spring. What is your spring? What is that thing that keeps refilling? And the more you take out, the more it returns to you. And there's a lot of dry, thirsty dads out there. And part of the problem is they haven't been investing in themselves. So don't feel guilty. Spend some time with your partner. Tell them what you need, why you need it. And again, if you don't know how to say this to your partner, share this episode with them. Because I'm sure they also have similar feelings to how you're feeling. And maybe this will spark conversation for the two of you. But create some time for yourself. Go back to your happy place. It's been a long time. And I want you to be happy. Your kids want you to be happy. Your spouse, your partner, your wife, they want you to be happy. Your happiness is important. Don't feel guilty, but go ask for a timeout today. And let me know how it goes. dadspace.ca. Thanks for listening. So thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to Dad Space. I really, really appreciate you being here. If this is your first time or you're coming back and back and back, it's great. Now, I am on a mission to talk to as many dads as I can through the show and connecting with you. You get to hear my voice by pressing play. I want to hear your voice by going to dadspace.ca and leaving me a voice message. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm on a mission to talk to 5 dads every month. 5 dads. 30 minutes maybe, tops, where we get together and just talk about maybe what you're getting out of the podcast, maybe how I can serve you in the content or with guests or topics, and just to hear from you. To hear from you as a listener would be outstanding. So go to dadspace.ca. There is a link right there where you can click on it and you can jump into my SpeakPipe link. It leaves a voice. You can leave a voice message, which comes to me in an email. I can respond to you directly in voicemail, or I can have you maybe even come on the show as a guest. It's completely up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm here for you, and I'm so grateful that you're still here listening to this. So go to dadspace.ca and either let's get you on the show or let's you and I sit down with the calendar invite on my website and let's just have a conversation, one dad to another. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Take care.